What is up, YouTube? It's your boy CK, man, and y'all checking into the APT Lifestyle channel. I appreciate you all rocking with me today. I would like for you all to hit the like and subscribe button. Tell a friend, tell a friend. But hope y'all having a pretty good day. It's Thursday, February the 20th, 2025. And I am connected. I want to start my day off by having a cup of coffee. Cheers to you guys for rocking with me, subscribing to your boy. Yeah, let's see. I did want to look up some real estate advice from no other than Dave Ramsey. I definitely am a follower of Dave Ramsey and his philosophy when it comes to being debt free. Um, I joke around a lot and stuff like that, but on a serious note, that is definitely something that I do take serious, is being debt free and having your finances in order, you know? Oh my God, this coffee is delicious. It is a great day. But yeah, let's get into some debt-free stuff by Dave Ramsey. All right, here we go. Let's see, Dave Ramsey. I'm actually looking at this property and I want to see how HOA, how the payment would be. How much is too much? Your HO fee, our condos, property management. Home buying. HOA for rental property. Let's see what we come up with. How much is too much for HOA fees? Thanks, you guys, man. Y'all thank me later.
Eric is with us in Tampa, Florida. Hi, Eric. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Ken. Thanks for having me.
Sure. What's up?
My question is a pretty simple one. I'm considering, well, I'm going to move home back to Michigan to be closer to family, but I'm curious. I want to get a condo, and I don't know if there's a good ratio or rule of thumb when it comes to how much I should spend or how much is too much when I consider HOA fees.
If they are disproportionate to what the payment would be on the normal condo. I mean, if you've got a condo that the normal payment is $1,500 on and the HOA fees are $1,000 a month, then that's disproportionate. I'm going to want to know that there's something screwed up, right? Other than that, what I would be most concerned about is since you asked, I probably would look at, if I'm worried about it at all, I'd probably look at the annual budget on the HOA.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. I had a condo that I owned. We bought a condo in Knoxville because our kids were in school down there, and we were going back and forth to football games to see kids in school. And they were not setting money back to replace the parking lot and the roofs. And so when it came up, we got hammered with special assessments. But the HOA fees were strangely low.
Okay.
You see, so you have to be concerned. You kind of have to be concerned the other way too.
Right. Is that something that I can request from the HOA before?
Absolutely. You can have the agent pull the budget for you. What's the annual budget look like? And make sure that if you're going into a condo, make sure they're setting aside for capital improvements, whatever the condo is responsible for, which is usually the exterior pieces. It'll be some landscaping, it'll be roof, siding, parking lots, those kinds of things. And make sure they're setting money back for replacement. Because if things got a 10-year life, you ought to be setting aside a tenth of it every year, right? So sinking fund is what it's called. And so, and if they're not doing that, that's a concern. The other side of it is, are they just going cray because they're spending too much because they're trying to be something they're not. They're trying to build the Taj Mahal out of this dinky butt little condo, or something like that. And so you got to check it on the other side. Are they overspending on something? And then that'll tell you how well it's being managed. I would worry about one that didn't have professional management assisting the homeowner's operated board. If the homeowner operated board does it by themselves, that's where you get into the most bizarre stories that I've gotten into anyway on HOAs and properties we've owned. I hate them. Most of them are just a total pain in the butt.
It's like local politics, those that you're talking about. Larry the control freak's in charge, and you're like, oh boy,
student body government in junior high school.
It's just yuck.
The guy who really should not. He's the he hasn't got anything else to do. He gets put in charge.
That's exactly. He's the czar,
and
it just never.
He's running around checking everybody's bushes for the correct diameter. And it just makes me want to shoot. You're in my yard again, Harry. Get out of my yard. Oh God, and just that guy. But that's the stuff I can't stand in those things. And I don't even want to talk about it. But anyway, that's the stuff.
I just would like to say that you should definitely check out Dave Ramsey on the Total Money Makeover book. It's a very good read. You'll learn a lot of things that you probably wouldn't have known if you come from parents where don't really know much about finances, that would be a good way to start, is by diving into that book. And he speaks like this, the way he's talking, very I would say direct. And I mean, that's what you're gonna need to really get your point across. So I get why he speaks that way.
That's the stuff you got to be careful of, is how's the politics of the thing running? How's it operated? Is it professionally managed? Are they saving too much for something? Are they spending too much on some things? Are they not setting anything back on the other? Because you'll get a special assessment later, or you'll get a reputation of the roofs are all leaking and they don't have the money to fix them, and they didn't do a special assessment. So now the condo project gets a bad reputation, or the subdivision gets a bad reputation because the pond is always full of scum or whatever. And then you can't sell the house because the HOA becomes the detriment to the value of the property. And yeah, you got to watch it. By and large, it's just a bunch of little, most of it's not a problem, but except just the emotion around it and being told what to do in a house I paid for and stuff like that. I guess I'm a libertarian or something, whatever you call that. I don't know what you call it. Like I own this, so leave me alone. I'm that guy, whatever it is. I know I'm an old guy. Get off my lawn. That's what I am. Yeah. Except I'm the Clint Eastwood version. We cut a tree down.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Right. Now he's just chatting. I wanted to try to figure out, would it be a good idea to, basically, I want to know if the tenant should be responsible for the HOA. And maybe I could call someone and ask that question, but I like to get it from somebody that seems to know much about properties and those sort of things. So I'm gonna check YouTube first. How do I pay HOA for tenant? What? Gang. Who's responsible for the HOA? Is the tenant? Who is responsible? HOA owner or tenant? The reason why I want to know this is because, if I pay for the property, I'm not paying for the HOA to live there. I'll do that, but oh, you gotta have a meet. Oh my God. Dang. Should I buy a rental property with an HOA? Let's see what this guy has to say.
Should I buy a rental property with an HOA fee? That's today's video. Let's dive in. Hey there, I'm Clayton Morris, the president of Morris Invest, longtime real estate investor, and today we're going to talk about homeowners association, or HOA. Should you buy a rental property with an HOA attached to it? Well, first of all, what is a homeowners association? Well, it's simply that. It's an association, a group of people that are voted in to this office, and they basically will run an entire condo complex or a small, maybe gated community. It really depends about grouping of townhomes. I lived in a single family house in Florida that had a homeowners association. They controlled, what color the houses were painted. They controlled whether or not you could put up a basketball hoop in the street. They controlled whether or not you were able to hang flags. They controlled who mowed the lawns. All of that stuff usually is controlled by a homeowners association. And in a condo complex, they will be in charge of what color the outside of the building is. They'll be in charge of roof maintenance, those sorts of things on the outside of the property. So you'll often pay a certain percentage every month for your homeowners association dues. If you live in a condo complex, for instance, you might pay $300, $400, $500, even higher. I know people pay $700 a month or even higher for their homeowners association. And unfortunately, that doesn't do anything for your equity position. You're just giving money to an association that's painting the outside of your building, is probably having the lawn mowed, is probably maintaining the roof. But at the end of the day, that money is not going to serve you in any kind of equitable fashion. But if the numbers work, I still always come back to your ROI. And I have a whole series of videos. You can click right here and watch them after this video on return on investment and how you should figure your ROI. But again, that's eating into your ROI. But if the numbers are so great and you find such a kick-ass deal, then great. Who cares about the homeowners association? Then you can consider buying the property if your numbers still work out and you're still getting a great return on investment, even with that added fee with the homeowners association fee. So that's something to consider. Another downside of a homeowners association, though, is the fact that they can change the bylaws at any time. So for instance, your condo complex may allow for you to buy a condo and rent it out. But what happens if they change their mind? And this happens all the time. So you are in trouble. Bottom line is, unless you probably have it rented before the bylaws were changed, and you might be grandfathered in, you are not going to, let's say that tenant moves out, and now you have to sign a new lease. They're not going to let you assign a new lease to a new tenant if they've changed the bylaws, which are now forbidding that condo from becoming a rental property place. You know, at the end of the day, condo complexes and associations, they don't like to rent. They don't want people renting. It lowers the property value of their condo complex. So it's something to consider. If they change the bylaws, you could be in trouble. The fee is also pretty high. And here is the third problem with homeowners associations. It's the assessments. Now, this happened to me. I bought my very first property when I moved to Florida. It was a little 1-bedroom condo that I bought, my first house that I bought on a golf course. And I was working in TV at the time in Orlando, Florida. And a great little place. It was like built in the 1970s, and I kind of did some renovations on the inside and whatnot. But when I was living there, I moved in, and right after I moved in, I didn't know this at all. They did an assessment of the building. And suddenly every homeowner in the condo complex now had to pay for a total roof replacement. So I move in, and then 3 or 4 weeks later, I find out that I have to do, they're doing an assessment, and I'm going to be on the hook for like $2,500 to help redo the whole roof. Great. So I just got hit with this massive fee that I didn't even know about. And they can do that. So you might be plugging along just fine with a tenant in your property, and then the HOA might decide it's painting time. We're going to paint the outside of the building, and it's going to cost you $5,000 as the homeowner to do that. Well, maybe I didn't want to paint it just yet. Maybe it looks just fine to me. So HOAs, I always think that can be a little tricky. So you need to weigh it on a case-by-case basis. But again, if the numbers still work out in your favor and you've got a really great deal, then go for it. But again, you have to weigh it against all of these negatives with buying a homeowners association.
Great, wonderful, man. Shout out to this guy. Who is this guy? Shout out to this dude, whoever channel it was. Let's see. This dude right here. Redacted. Oh, he got 2.6 million subscribers. No wonder. Like, this dude dropping gems, yo. Like, and that's another thing, man. When you on YouTube, you can find a lot of stuff, just not entertainment or just BS. Sometimes whenever, like, in the morning time and hanging out with me, you'll see that I drink coffee. I get up to date on like stuff that can better, my circumstances, my situations. You get what I'm saying? Learning about properties and those sort of things. So shout out to Redacted. Go to his channel, subscribe to his channel.